Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Quirky and the Smallest Feeling of Peace. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Every morning begins the same way, yet with Quirky, it never feels ordinary. Before the sun rises fully above the rooftops, a faint golden light slips through the curtains and lands gently on the floor. That is Quirky's signal. His ears twitch first, then his nose wiggles as if he is sniffing the morning itself. Moments later, I feel a warm weight settle beside my feet. Quirky never wakes me with barking. Instead, he rests his chin softly on the mattress and watches me, patiently, lovingly, as if guarding my dreams. When I finally open my eyes, his tail begins its quiet, rhythmic tapping, a soft drumbeat of happiness. "Good morning, Quirky," I whisper. He responds with a tiny sneeze and a lick on my fingers, his way of saying the day has begun and everything is okay. We step outside together into the cool morning air. The grass is still damp with dew, and Quirky walks slowly, carefully, as if each blade deserves respect. He pauses often, to watch a drifting leaf, to listen to distant birds, or to stare thoughtfully at nothing at all. I used to think these pauses were strange. Now I realize they are moments of attention, tiny pockets of peace. A neighbor rides past on a bicycle. Quirky does not chase. He simply watches, head tilted, absorbing the world rather than rushing through it. Back inside, breakfast becomes a quiet ritual. He sits politely, eyes bright but patient, waiting for permission. When his bowl touches the floor, he eats with gentle enthusiasm, never rushing, never guarding, trusting there will always be enough. Afterward, he curls beside my chair while I drink tea. He doesn't demand play or attention. His presence alone fills the room with warmth. The ticking clock, the faint steam rising from my cup, and Quirky's slow breathing blend into a rhythm that feels like safety. I realize that peace is not silence. Peace is sharing a moment with a small, loyal heart. By midday, sunlight spills across the yard, turning dust particles into floating gold. Quirky becomes more playful then, but never chaotic. His joy is soft, like wind through leaves. We walk along a narrow dirt path behind the house. The path is familiar, yet Quirky treats it as if it is new every day. He greets the same crooked fence post with a sniff, studies the same patch of wildflowers, and listens to the same distant rooster crow. A butterfly flutters near him. Instead of chasing it wildly, he follows slowly, stepping with exaggerated care, as though he understands the delicate balance of the creature's wings. When the butterfly lifts higher into the air, he stops and watches it disappear into the brightness. Children pass by laughing. One little girl pauses and waves. "Hello, Quirky." His tail wags gently, not wildly, as if he understands greetings should be warm but calm. He sits, allowing her to pat his head. In that moment, there is a quiet exchange of trust, a child learning gentleness, a dog offering patience. Further along the path, we rest beneath a small tree. The shade is thin but kind. I sit on the ground, and Quirky presses against my side, warm and steady. He sighs, a long, contented breath that feels like permission to slow down. The world moves, distant engines hum, birds scatter, leaves rustle. Yet inside this shared stillness, time seems to loosen its grip. Quirky closes his eyes, trusting me completely. That trust feels like a responsibility and a gift. On our way home, he carries a small twig in his mouth like a prized treasure. Not a stick worthy of heroic chewing, just a simple twig. Still, he holds it proudly, reminding me that joy is not measured by size. Back home, he naps near the doorway where sunlight meets shadow. One paw twitches as he dreams, perhaps of butterflies, warm hands, or endless paths that smell like stories. I watch him and feel something soften inside me, a quiet realization that happiness often arrives disguised as ordinary moments. As evening approaches, the world dims into softer colors. The air cools, and distant cooking smells drift through the neighborhood. Quirky becomes calmer, as if the fading light invites reflection. We sit outside together while the sky shifts from pale blue to lavender and then to deepening indigo. Crickets begin their music. Quirky listens attentively, his head slightly tilted, absorbing the soundscape of night. He leans against my leg, not seeking attention, only connection. His warmth spreads slowly, grounding me in the present moment. A motorcycle passes loudly on the road. Quirky does not startle. He simply watches until the sound fades, then returns to stillness. His calm steadiness feels like an anchor in a restless world. Later, inside the house, he follows me from room to room, not out of neediness, but companionship. When I stop, he stops. When I sit, he settles beside me. When I stand, he rises, ready to share the next small movement of life. Before bedtime, he circles his cushion twice and lies down with a soft sigh. I rest my hand on his back, feeling the slow rise and fall of his breathing. In that rhythm, there is reassurance. We are here, we are safe, we are enough. Quirky's eyes grow heavy, yet he keeps them half open, watching me as if guarding the quiet of the night. In a world filled with noise, urgency, and endless motion, Quirky offers something rare, the comfort of simply being. Living with Quirky reminds me that peace rarely arrives in grand moments. It lives in quiet footsteps beside us, in warm presence without demands, and in shared stillness that asks nothing but awareness. In modern life, we rush between tasks, screens, and worries, often believing happiness lies ahead somewhere. Yet Quirky finds contentment in sunlight on the floor, the kindness of a child's touch, and the comfort of simply staying close. Animals teach us a language beyond words: patience, trust, and unconditional companionship. When we slow down to match their rhythm, we rediscover balance within ourselves. Caring for an animal is not only about feeding or sheltering them. It is about building a bridge of empathy that softens our hearts and strengthens our sense of responsibility toward all living beings. To bring this gentle peace into daily life, start by noticing small moments: the warmth of morning light, the sound of breathing beside you, the calm between busy hours. Move more slowly. Offer kindness without expectation. Protect and respect animals, for they remind us how to live with sincerity and presence. Sometimes, the smallest piece is the one that heals us most.